Hey guys, I hope you are doing well, and today I'm going to be doing a historical romance recommendation video. So, I have really fallen in love with historical romances in the past year. In last April, Peacelovebooks, Laceybooklovers, and Remarkablylisa, they did a historical romance readathon, and that's when I really fell in love with historicals, and I've just been buying them and reading a bunch of them, and I wanted to share some of my favorites with you. So the first book is Hearts Aflame by Joanna Lindsey. This book is like a Viking romance, and the heroine, she wants to go off and find a husband for herself, but her father just wants her to stay in their clan and marry somebody there, but she doesn't think that there's anybody good enough for her there. So she decides to stow away on a ship that her brother is taking, and she doesn't know that her brother and the rest of the Viking clan are actually going to go raid places. So she kind of just stows away on the ship, and they have to take her along with them, and then they raid this place, and she kind of gets taken by the lord of the land there, and she's like his housemaid, and she kind of has to do what he says, and it's really good. I really like Joanna Lindsey. This one was very good. Definitely go pick it up. So the next couple of books is a series by Tessa Dare. It is the I don't know if it's called the Wallflower series. I don't think it's called that, but it's these three books. The first book is The Duchess Deal. The second book is The Governess Game. And the third book is The Wallflower Wager. So this whole series kind of revolves around this group of girls. And the first book, the heroine is a seamstress, and the Duke, he was supposed to marry this woman, and they didn't get married, obviously, and so the heroine, she's a seamstress, and she made the wedding dress for the person he was supposed to marry, and he didn't like pay for it or anything, so she goes up to his house and is like, hey, you didn't pay for this beautiful dress that it took me so long to make. I want a refund. I want my money. And he's kind of like, well, no, what if you become my wife? And so it's kind of a marriage of convenience. He needs an heir, and it's just really good. I really love Tessa Dare's writing. She writes really fun rom-com-ish historicals, and it's also kind of like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but in a historical romance, and I just love Tessa Dare so much. Definitely check out this series. So the next book is 9 Rules to Break When Romancing a Rake by Sarah MacLean. This book is our heroine. She is a spinster. I forgot the word. Spinster, and she has been a spinster for so long. She feels like an outcast in social society, and she hasn't really ever found her place in the world. And so one night she kind of meets this guy, and he's kind of like a known rake in society, and she's like, hey, you're cute, and she kind of remembers him, and then years later she goes to, she makes this list of things she wants to accomplish, and one of them is to kiss somebody, and so literally in the middle of the night she goes to his house and she kisses him, and she's never done that ever before. And so she kind of has help, he like helps her complete her list, but then in return she helps his sister come into society, because he has this like long lost sister from his mother, and he's trying to help his sister get into society, and so she's helping him too, and they fall in love, and it's amazing. This is my first Sarah MacLean book, and I'm definitely going to read more of hers. So the next book is The Highwaymen by Kerrigan Byrne. This is a series. This is kind of like a dark historical series, and I really liked it. The first book is about these, they were friends when they were younger, and they both kind of met at this orphanage, and something really bad happened to the hero, and she kind of had to escape the orphanage. The people were really bad there. And so then we see them years later, and the heroine is kind of working in, I think, a newspaper, and there's this like highwayman on the loose who's kind of doing like wrong things, and is doing different, he's kind of just being like, I guess, a Robin Hood, I think. And he kind of like whisks her away to the Highlands, and they kind of fall in love. She doesn't remember him, but he remembers her, and I think that's really fun. And I think she's secretly like the heir to some clan in Scotland, and she doesn't want to marry anyone, and so he kind of like asks her to marry him. I'm totally explaining this really badly because I read this book a really long time ago, but trust me, this book is really good. It's a series, so definitely go check this out. The next book, I love this book so much, guys. It's In Bed with the Highlander by Maya Banks. This is a Highlander romance, and our heroine, she gets like kidnapped by this rival clan, and she sees this little boy who's also kidnapped too, and she kind of helps. They escape together, and the little boy's like, oh, well, we need to go to my father's clan, and so they go there, and the lord, or the clan leader, that's his son, and they kind of strike up a romance, her and the clan leader, and she has like secrets of her past and kind of her identity. And it's just really good. I really like Maya Banks. I've read some of her contemporary books before, but this is amazing, so definitely go check it out if you want to read a Highlander romance. So, of course, the next book is another Highlander romance, and this is The Secret by Julie Garwood. I love this book so freaking much. Our heroine is kind of on her own, and she gets a letter from her best friend saying that she's in labor, and so she has to go and help her best friend give labor to her baby, to deliver her baby. And like, the clan doesn't really like people coming into their, territory. They don't like new people, especially English people, and she's English. And so they have this guy go and retrieve her from England, and it's kind of like a travel-ish romance, and they travel back to the clan, and it's just really good. She falls in love with him, and I really enjoyed this book. I'm definitely going to read more from Julie Garwood. But this was a great Highlander romance. And the next book is another kind of Highlander romance. This is A Kingdom of Dreams by Judith McNutt. And this book, our heroine is, I think she's at a convent school. She's at a convent school, and she her father kind of shoved her there, and at the convent school, and so she's been there for a really long time. And so then one day when she was kind of like out in the woods by the convent, her and her half-sister, they get kidnapped by these English soldiers and English lord, and Duke, and they get kidnapped by them, and our heroine is just like, no. She's like a feisty heroine, and she kind of like fights him. She tries to run away from him. It's definitely hate to love. She tries to escape multiple times, and I thought that was really funny, and it's just a great romance. I think it was in like the 1500s though, so it's a little bit medieval, but I definitely recommend this. This is great. So the next couple of books is a series, and it is by none other than Lisa Kleypas. The first book is Secrets of a Summer's Night. This is kind of what made me want to make this video, because I read this past week and I loved it so much. And then I also really love, again, the magic. This is the prequel in this series. So Secrets of a Summer's Night is our heroine is kind of in debt, and she, like, our heroine is in debt, and her family doesn't have a dowry because her father passed away, and so she's trying to marry somebody before the social season ends. And so but the whole, like, thing around this series is that this group of girls, they're all not like spinsters, but they're wallflowers, and so they kind of make this pact to help each other find a husband. So the first girl is Annabelle, and so they help her, and she kind of has this thing going on with this other guy. His name is Simon, and she really likes him, but he kind of only wants her to be like his mistress, and she doesn't want that. She wants to be married to somebody. So they like go off on a trip, and while she's trying to like court this guy, like, things happen and she's starting to fall in love with him, and it's just so good. I love Lisa Kleypas's writing so much. I think she brings so much like angst, and you just really feel the characters' passion for each other, and I love that in books. And then again, the magic is about Eileen, I think that's how you say her name, but she has fallen in love with the stable boy. They've been kind of friends for a really long time, but they've also been want to be together, and her father doesn't want her to marry a stable boy, and so he kind of, something like happens, and they get separated for years, and he comes back, and he's kind of like a totally different person to her. He's mean, he's cruel to her, and she's just like, whoa, that's not who I thought you were. And they kind of spark up their romance again, but it's a little bit slow burn, but it's very, very angsty, which I really loved. This is the first, again, The Magic was the first book that I read from Lisa Kleypas, and it's just so good. She's just an amazing writer. The last couple of books is a series. Hold on. The last couple of books is a series, and this series is, of course, I had to put this in here, by Julia Quinn. This is the Bridgerton series. There's so many books, I don't know how I'm going to share with you guys. Hold on one second. So the first book in the series is The Duke and I. This is also a Netflix series too. But The Duke and I is about Simon and Daphne. If you haven't heard of it, it's been really popular lately. But anyways, The Duke and I is about Daphne and Simon, and Daphne is trying to find a husband in this like social season, and there's this fun character named Miss Lady Whistledown, and she's kind of this, it's a little bit like Gossip Girl, and she has this like gossip sheet, and she gossips about all of the lords and ladies in England. And Daphne she needs to find a husband, and she's kind of having a hard time with it, and so she decides to make like this pact or agreement with this duke named Simon, and to like kind of fake court or fake date, and so that she could get more suitors, and he could kind of wouldn't have to deal with all like the moms and mothers of like ladies who want their daughters to marry him. But then they kind of fall in love during that process, and it's just really good. I love this series. There is a problematic scene in this book. I didn't like this scene. I didn't appreciate it. I don't think it needed to be in this book at all, but there is a problematic scene between Daphne and Simon. But overall, I really liked this book, and none of that happens in the other books. So it's just this one book, but overall, this series is really good. I also read the second book, which is The Viscount Who Loved Me. That's, my gosh, that is, I'm blanking on his name. That is Anthony's story. and that is between Anthony and Kate. And Kate is an amazing heroine. She's like spicy and fun, and that is also a great book. This whole series is great. I need to finish it. I've only read 2 of the books, but I know I'll love the rest. I just want to thank you so much for watching this video. It means so much to me, and I'll see you soon. Bye.